Hello, cherry, everyone. Welcome. Hope everyone is having a happy New Year. Here, So, as you can all see, we're going to be having a very interesting experience today because we're going to be playing Limbus Company. oh, it's it's been so long since the last Canto. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen next, and also if some of my theories about Ryoshu's backstory turn out to be true. I don't know if it's going to be the case, but who knows? But we're just going to have to enter the spider's web and see what kicks out. So, with that being said, everyone, and let's enter Limbus Company. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Also, I just realized I really have to remember to turn back on the volume before I stream. Bad habits and all that. But still, Ryoshu looks very lovely. Now, obviously, I have already logged in. Then I, I have already logged in because let's just say I can't really stop myself from doing my daily grinds, at least. But let's turn back on. There. I had quite the bounty of thread, which I've immediately expended. So, those who've seen my previous Limbus streams knows that, well, I have been working on a project of max uptying and max leveling everyone. And by everyone, I mean everyone. And everyone's maxed uptied at least, but as you can see, I only got so far of the max levels, so I still had a fair bit to go. But now they increased the level cap, so all of this work, I'm back to square one, slowly getting characters leveled up again. Such a pity. Such a pity. Still, at the very least, this massive injection of thread was enough to allow me to get at least most of my ego to tier 3. There's still a fair few that need to be leveled, but that can be done at a later date. And yes, I'm planning to get them all up to tier 4 as well. I'm a bit of a madman like that. But with that being said, there is one thing we came here today. One goal. One dream. One thing that we must achieve. And that is, of course, the unsevering. Canto. Oh. We enter the spider's web. Enter the spider's web. Ambush in the dark.
둥글게 감겨 시작과 끝이 맞닿아 있는 실타래가 있었다.
There is a clue of thread, raveled of a single strand, whose beginning is its end.
모든 순간은 시실과 날실이 되어 짜여지며
Moments become wefts and warps that crisscross into a weave.
시간은 흐르지 않고 한 자리에 엉켜진다.
And the flow of time spools in a single spot. I get the feeling we're going to have a lot of thread, web, and weaving imagery.
자, 읽어봐.
Go on, read it. Ryoshu? Interesting that it's purple. What?
너의 첫울음과 마지막 숨결 사이
From the echo of your first cry to the whisper of your last breath.
모든 순간의 한가운데에서 나는
In the
널
heart of
보게
every
했다.
moment, my eyes catch a glimpse of you.
아니, 그 글자는 그렇게 읽는 게 아니라
Ah, she's talking to the daughter. No, that's not how you read those letters.
요시대라고 읽는 거다.
Yoshihide, that's how you say it.
요슈!
Yoshu. Is that why you go by the name Ryoshu?
이게 더 편하고 이쁘잖아.
It's prettier and easier. Such cute innocence. This is gonna hurt. I just know it's gonna hurt.
길을 잃은 내 아이야. 돌아오는 방향을 모르겠다면
Dear lost child of mine, should the way back home elude you,
가장 아팠던 첫 매듭을 더듬어서 되짚어라.
follow the thread back to the very first knot that hurt the most.
그 떨림이 멎는 곳에는
Where the quivering stops,
내가 있단다.
that is where you will find me.
오늘이군요.
LCE researcher Martin, today's the day. Oh? Today's the day, people.
네, 오늘이네요.
Ah, these people again.
혹시
LCE researcher Alicia. Today's the day indeed, boss. Are you?
잠깐 떨리면 질문은 하지 말게. 그런 건 스스로의 연구 결과에 자신 없는 범인들이
So,
하는 행동이잖아.
Hohenheim, you're up to something. Hold, please don't ask me if I am nervous. Only ordinary, unremarkable researchers with a particularly low level of confidence in their own material ever get nervous.
말하고 보니 지난번 학회 때 청심환을 한 줌씩 먹고도 3초에 5번씩 손을 떨던 자가 생각나는군. 솔직히 좀 꼬여서 나왔네.
Your unfinished query has reminded me of the last academic assembly. There was this fellow who simply could not stop their hands from shaking with the frequency of 5 oscillations every 3 seconds, even after taking an entire fistful of tranquility boluses. What a miserable sight that was. Oh, well, I don't want to guess how nervous he was. Why?
그들이 과연 내가 하는 말의 절반 이상은
Oh God, he's gonna be yapping.
되새기면 적당한 긴장감에 다리 정도는 떨릴지도 모르겠군. 그래도 자네들이 한번 검토해 준 덕에 한결 안심이지.
Hey,
자네들이 이해했다면 나머지 청중들도 이야기 정도는
Okay,
따라올 테니까.
good thing I have water. Ahem. Oh, of course. Perhaps the fear that the attendees may not possess the intelligence to comprehend even half of my presentation may source a reasonable level of anxiety, potent enough to make my legs tremble somewhat. But I have been quite relieved of that concern after you reviewed my materials. Oh, hey, even the cake. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes, welcome to the stream. As you can see, we're playing Limbus Company. Specifically the new Canto. We just got started. Oh, I'm doing fine. Just sort of relaxing, enjoying myself as best I can. And have some personal things I'm not going to air. Nothing major, but you know how it is. Just trying to unwind with a bit of the streaming and see how things go. Now, where were we? That concern after you reviewed my materials. If both of you were able to understand it, then the audience should have no problem following the general narrative. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Well, it's just... Yeah, thank you. I hope to get better soon myself. Things can get a bit hectic and, well, at the very least, I have a bit of control over my streaming. Well, as much control as I can when I'm trying to. Now, where were we?
적어도 지난번처럼 절반 넘게 숙면을 취할 일은 없을 겁니다.
At least you won't be dosing the audience chock full of your verbal sedatives this time.
그러고 보니 추가
On another
연구를 위한
note-
협조 요청은 왜 여태껏 승인이 안 난 건지 알고 있나?
Thank you for following. Oh well, thank you, Neapolitan. I hope you enjoy the stream. Now, thanks for the follow. Now that's one step closer to 60. Have you any clue as to why our cooperation request for an additional research is still pending approval? Well, considering you're popping up here and the stuff I've seen in the trailer, let's just say you're going to be liquidated.
LCA 연구 개발팀에서 계속 반려하고 있거든요. 하던 연구에나 집중하라고.
LCA R&D team has repeatedly denied our request. Apparently, we're too focused solely on our present research.
까다롭게 구는군. 반려한 담당자가 누구인지 아는 게 있나?
A rather narrow-minded bunch, aren't they? Do we know specifically who denied our requests?
지난번 학회에서 청심환을 한 줌씩 먹고도 손을 떨던 그 부팀장분이요. 팀장님이 코웃음을 치셨던 것에 대한 앙금이 아직 안 풀리셨나 봐요.
The assistant manager who simply could not stop their hands from shaking. Oh, the Limbus company is, in my honest opinion, one of the best gacha stories out there. I cannot stress this enough. The story is fantastic. The characters are very well written, and it's just generally peak. I cannot stress enough how peak this is. We're in Canto 6, so... Well, no, 9. We're in Canto 9. So we're a fair bit into it. Long story short, each Canto usually focuses on one of our main cast. Now we're going into Canto for Ryoshu, the Japanese member, who is also a bit of a psychopath. You'll see her in a bit. Oh yes, it is fun. And they're still carrying the grudge from when you scoffed at them. Thank you.
그랬던
Is
건가?
that so? Well,
아마 이번 발표가 끝나면 그자도 별말 못하고 승인할 걸세. 기존 연구는 이제 더할 나위 없을 정도로 진척되었으니.
I would suggest playing it. They're also one of the most generous gacha games out there. Our present research has already progressed beyond the point of satisfaction, after all.
압류.
Of course, boss. Of course.
아무래도 안 되겠고.
This won't do.
개인적인 호기심을 풀이하기 위한 추가 연구이긴 해도 회사에 이익이 될 연구임에는 틀림이 없네.
Though the motivation behind my additional research request was to sate a personal curiosity, I have no doubts in my mind that it will end up benefiting the company's bottom line.
마탄, 혹시 내가 어제 만든 추가 연구 계획서는 챙겼나? 예상되는 성과를 눈앞에 들이밀면 LCA에서도 승인하지 않고서는 못 베기겠지.
Also, one of the big parts is that, as you can see, fully voiced, and pretty much everything is fully voiced. There, we have events that don't have voices at first, but during the reruns, they often get voices, and you don't have to worry about missing story. The way they handle things is every event story is canon and is an interlude. So if you start now, you can play it. Exactly, it's a very lovely game. As I said, if you start playing the game now, you won't really miss any real story sections, because every like event is what we know as an intervallo, which means that which basically means that how should I put this? It's a short little snippet bit, usually building on something in the future, and the like. Also, internet might be a bit unstable at the moment because I have other people in this house and they're not asleep yet. Still, let's continue. Martin, do you have additional research proposal with you? Even the LCA will have no recourse but to approve it once they see the projected gains from its success.
그건
아,
따로 필요하지 않을
That
것 같아.
I left it back at the
연구실을
research hall.
비웠는데요.
Didn't think we'd need it today.
그 연구에서 성과를 거둔다면 시설실의 전력 효율도 높일 수 있을 걸세. 안 그래도 지금 하고 있는 실험이 워낙 전력을 많이 잡아먹어서 가용 전력이 영 간당간당하지 않나.
A successful outcome of that research should also be able to boost the efficiency of our electrical systems. I'm sure the need for more power is a mutual concern. We already have precious little to spare with how much energy our present research consumes.
연구실 난방기에 쓰는 전력도
Yeah,
아깝다고
we know.
다 같이 추위에 떨면서 실험했었죠. 저는 에고 장비 덕에 따뜻했지만
We even had to conduct our experiments in the freezing cold because we rerouted power from the heating system to save electricity. Well, I stayed toasty thanks to my ego gear, but still. Interesting that they're having situations with their power because and it gets cold. That indicates that the Limbus company research facility is in a colder part of the city. Oh, it gets pretty crazy. Just wait and see.
아무튼
Anyway.
액션은 제가 가져올게요. 팀장님이랑 마튼 씨는 발표 준비에 집중하세요.
I'll go grab the proposal. You two should focus on the presentation prep. Oh boy. Lights going out like this is never a good sign.
지원 요청. 여기는 LCA 부서. 북도 YS 보부근. 긴급하게 지원 요청한다. 지금이 그러니까 코드.
Well, that escalated quickly. Requesting support. This is LCE Department Corridor YS4. Requesting immediate support. The situation's a code.
미안하구나.
Apologies.
그렇게 불필요하게 절단하고 싶진 않았는데.
I didn't wish to.
도 의식을 잃은 것 같으니 대신 전하지. 코드라고 하기에는 너무 거창하고.
I'm going to tell you right now, Evan. This is a setting where experiments on children is the starting point. They have a lot of warnings at the start, so apologies. I didn't wish to so unnecessarily cut him off, but as it seems he passed out, let me be the messenger instead. Though I won't bother with the fancy code speak.
이곳에는 일말의 가망조차 남지 않았다.
The situation here is
그렇게 말하고 싶었을 거야.
entirely hopeless, was probably what he wished to say. And that color, there's only one group. A few hours later. That's likely an index guy. Oh yeah, a good deal of time has passed since we'd said our heartfelt farewells to Jia Shichun, yet we still remain stuck in Hongyuan.
오늘 출발하는 거 맞냐?
Sinner
날
7,
헷갈린 거 아니고?
Heathcliff. You sure we're setting off today? Reckon you got the date wrong?
그건 아닌데. 베르길리우스 씨랑 파일럿 씨를 데리고 오신다던
Sinclair?
소식까지 늦으시네요.
I'm pretty sure I didn't, but even sounds late. And she was supposed to get Virgilius and Pilot.
홍원 밖으로 이어지는 직통도로가 코앞이다.
Otis?
소드 그자가 트럭을 타고 이 장소까지 모이라는 메모를 휘갈겨 쓰고 간 것을 볼 때 이번에는 확실할 테지.
Otis, or as you'd probably know her by her more well-known name, Odysseus. Right ahead lies the road that leads straight out of Hongyan. Given Sao's memo telling us to drive out here with a truck, there should be no room for error this time.
그랬으면 좋겠네요.
Ishmael? I sure hope that's the case.
대관원에서 나올 때 문지기 분들이 몇 시에 돌아오는지 물어보더라니까요. 저희가 아예 홍원의 정식 거주민이 된 줄 아시더라고요.
When we left Dongyang earlier, the guards at the gate actually asked me what time we'd be coming back. They'd probably think we've taken up permanent residence here at H-Corp.
그럴만하지. 지난번부터 계속 떠난다면서 잔치상도 성대하게 2차례나 얻어먹었는데 계속 안 가고 미적지근하게 있기만 하니까.
Yeah, one of the biggest benefits of Limbus, well, biggest bonus, not bonuses, the biggest highlights of Limbus Company is how they keep the cast nicely focused, unlike other gacha games which do sometimes suffer from the cast bloating a bit. Hey. Hi, Viridian, welcome to the stream. And yes, you got here just in time. We only started not too long ago, although I did end up spending a fair bit of time just yapping with Eve up there. I'm slowly drawing them into the Limbus Company crowd. They shall become another Limbus Company sleeper agent. Ahem. Not surprised after saying goodbyes left and right, not to mention 2 farewell banquets, we're still sitting here on our butts without any sign of leaving.
그러니까 이때쯤이면 항상 베르가 의미심장하게 등장해서 다음 장소로 갈 시간입니다, 단테. 하고 말해줬잖아.
Exactly. By now, Verge should have appeared out of nowhere with his usual "time to move on to our next destination, Dante," like he always does.
카론의 내 피에 출발할게, 부릉부릉 하는 말도 못 들은 지 너무 오래됐고.
Then Charon would say, "Off we go, Mephi, vroom vroom." It's been forever since I heard her last. Yeah, I miss her. I miss Charon.
베르길리우스님이 지금처럼 오랫동안 저희를 떠났을 때가 있었나요?
I don't think there was ever a time Virgilius was gone this long.
계약 위반에 따른 추가적인 업무 배정이 있었던 것이 원인일 수 있으나 그것을 고려하더라도 부재 기간이 길어지고 있다.
The breach of contract may have led to extra workload for him, but even so, his prolonged absence remains unusual.
설마 저희를 도와주신 일 때문에 아직도...
All this just because he went out of his way to help us.
그렇지는 않습니다.
Faust, waifu, also mysterious, all story.
당시의 계약 위반 사항으로 인한 징계가 남아있는 것은 사실이지만 H사에서 할 수 있는 LCC와의 업무는 가시춘 씨가 가주가 된 직후에 모두 마무리되었죠.
Hello, Scar. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Anyway, where were we? Now the internet's acting up again. Oh well, this is why. Ahem. While it is true that the penalty incurred from breaching the contract yet remains. Yes, Faust is waifu. Ishmael is great girl too, although I love my Don Quixote. The LCE's operation in H-Corp, which he was assisting with, was immediately concluded following Jia Shichun's inauguration as the family hierarch.
다른 이유는 짐작 가는 바가 없구려.
I fail to think of any other reason apart from that. And here's our main character, Dante. Yes, we have a clock for a head. Dante. Virgilius and Charon would always be away whenever we traveled to a new... Okay, Viridian. Okay, Eve, I will hydrate. 1 second. Yeah, don't worry, I have plenty of water. Anyway, this is done. Thank you. But yeah, never for this long.
이번에도 같은 일로 자리를 비우신 걸까요?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're both named after Dante from the Divine Comedy. Maybe he's just off doing whatever he usually does when spending time with Charon. Everyone turned to look at Faust.
베르길리우스 씨가 자리를 비우는 이유에 대해서 아직 여러분에게 공유드릴 수 있는 정보는 없습니다.
At this point, there is no information that can be shared regarding Virgilius's absence. Maybe we can ask Virgilius when he gets here.
그 양반이 자기 목적지를 밝힐 리가 있겠어?
You honestly
우리한테 맨날 어디 가야만 한다고 말하지.
If I was better at accents, I'd become very Cockney and British right now. You honestly reckon and he'd say a word about where he was? Darn. Whenever I try and do British, it always turns Irish. That bloke only tells us where to go, never where he's off to. Ah, my favorite. Verily, and never hath he deigned to bring any of us on his ice cream trips, save young Charon. Back when... Oh yeah, a fun little factor here, as you might have picked up, every single one of our sinners here are based on some kind of literary work. Don Quixote, Otis, the Odyssey, Virgilius and Dante, the Divine Comedy. Let's see, Ryoshu, who we haven't met just yet. She is from a Japanese book called The Red Chamber. No, that's a different one. Whatever. And like Rodion is from Crime and Punishment, and Ishmael is from Moby Dick. And believe me, it is relevant. It is very relevant. Yeah, they love their literary references. Also, Don Quixote here is my favorite sinner.
혹시 후육을 순회하면서 그곳의 특산물을 모조리 섭렵하고 돌아오는 것은?
Who, perchance his path is that of a culinary journey to sample the unique specialties of each district. Yes, Hellscream, that's it. That's the... Hellscream. Red Chamber is Honglu, yeah, I got mixed up there. Ryoshu's Hellscream.
이게 무슨 맛집 탐방
Be serious for 1 second, lass. This ain't a foodie tour.
저희의 길을 안내해주는 것과 별개로
Aside from guiding our path,
베르길리우스 씨에게도
it may simply be that Virgilius
자신의 길이 있을 뿐이겠죠.
has a path of his own to walk. And obviously Faust from Faust. And this is, yeah, it's very relevant, although I haven't actually read it beyond bits and pieces. I've heard about it, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I've got no idea what his path would even look like. We are only here to follow the journey as guided by Virgilius. We know neither the path he has walked nor the path he seeks to walk. I wonder if he'll ever share his history with us one day. From what I know of his history, and I've only know the rough summary of Leviathan, trauma. Lots of trauma, and oh god, if he is here, this is going to be extra trauma.
길잡이야 껄핏하면 자리를 비우니까 그렇다 쳐도 소드는 왜 안 오는 건데?
I suppose he's being his usual absentee self, but that don't explain why Soud ain't here, does it?
늦어도 우리가 늦었지. 자기가 지각해서 우릴 이렇게 내버려 둔다고?
We've been late plenty of times, yeah, but it ain't like the last to keep us hanging.
작전에 변경점이라도 생긴 건 아닐까?
Maybe there's a change of plan.
보통 작전 중 연락이 두절되는 이유는
When an operative goes dark without warning,
변경이 아니라 변수 때문일 가능성이 높지.
it's usually due to an unforeseen variable, not a change of plans. As if to prove Otis right, one forcefully yanks the truck's door open. Soud! Holy... What happened to you? Ah. So, things have escalated. Looks like everyone is... Soud stumbled into the truck. Short of breath, he was bleeding and covered in wounds both serious and minor. Her eyes glistened with wild anxiety. A broken pistol hung from her waist. It was impossible not to notice the still fresh gashes and wounds on her. The first thing that caught my attention, however, was the stump where her left arm used to be. That's honestly not too much of a problem. That's a fairly simple fix in the city. But still a problem. Okay, so we can 100% confirm that Limbus Company is getting attacked. So things are about to escalate quite considerably. Oh. Okay. Thank you for paying your cherry tax. Thank you. Thanks for paying the cherry tax. Now, on to the spider's thread. Okay, first enemy. Okay, let's see. So the affinity is slashing and wrath. Thanks for paying the cherry tax. Thank you. Now we have slashing and wrath. So, considering the team, first let me clear my selection here. So, now the thing is that I like to do with these types of cantos is what I have certain rules. One rule: the sinner whose canto it is the one who is in every single team. No exceptions. They have to be in every team. The other one is that I like to swap around a bit and just sort of show off an experiment. So, since this is Ryoshu's Canto... Oh. Okay, I think I might have to turn that... not make that so it doesn't have an alert at some point. Definitely too easy to spam. So, thank you. So, I think... Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know Limbus Company very well, the way this game operates is these are our 12 sinners. They don't change. We just have these 12. But the way the gacha works is through the wonders of... Oh yeah, I'm still a bit of a newbie streamer. But yes, through the wonders of in-universe technology invented by this guy, we basically have them overlay alternate universe versions of themselves that are onto themselves to gain power. Essentially, that's how it works. But we often have situations where we encounter someone and then we basically get an ID based on them. Now, I'm going to take you.
드디어 내 차례냐?
Okay, and you. So we're going to be doing what I call the Blood Fiend Encore team, or just my general purpose bleed team, as I like to call it. It's just general purpose bleed stacks. Oh, I probably should have picked everyone. Oh well.
지금 바로 전투를 준비해 주세요.
As you can tell, this game it doesn't pull any punches. If someone's arm gets ripped off, they're going to look like they have their arm ripped off. And it's one of the many reasons I love it. Prepare for battle immediately. I am
더 이상 작전을 수행할 수 없는
no longer able to operate.
여러분의 도움이 필요합니다.
As you can plainly see, I need your help. Sound collapsed to the floor before we even had the chance to ask her if she was okay or what had happened to her arm.
베르길리우스 씨와 접선한 직후 기습을 당했어요.
Immediately after rendezvousing with Mr. Virgilius, I was ambushed. Yeah, oh yeah, they've definitely stopped pulling their punches. I mean, literally the carnival was made of blood, so, you know. And the attackers will be here any minute. Where once her resolve had not faltered even in the face of death. A grave look of despair now filled her eyes. How many hostiles? 2. Oh shit, we're in trouble. If it was a lot, then that's fine. 2?
한 명은 베르길리우스님이 맡고 있었고, 저는
we're in deep shit. While Mr. Virgilius was dealing with one of them, as in he had to actually focus on one of them.
베르가?
Verge was... Color returned to Rhodia's face upon hearing Virgilius's name.
그러면
Well,
벌써 베르가 다
then maybe
처리하고 여기로 오는 중인 거 아닐까?
Maybe already on his way back after wiping the floor with both of them.
아닐 거야.
No, I don't think so. Now this is very bad. Once again, for those who don't know, Virgilius is a color fixer. To put it into terms, this is going to be a hard.
카론을
It's Caron? Wait, what?
제가 카론을 놓쳐버렸어요.
Oh, someone's going to die. You don't hurt Carol. If we don't get to you, Virgilius is.
카론을 붙잡고
They tore off the
도망치던
arm I
바람에
was
홀수로
holding onto
날아갔어.
Caron with. Yeah, the color fixers are the best of the best of the best. Yeah.
제가
I never should have let
그때쯤
go.
잊지 말아야 했는데.
I never should have let that happen. I mean, you didn't let go. They literally tore off your arm. Then yeah, they are strong, but they're still human. And if they have Charon, that is one of the few bits of leverage they can use against Virgilius.
카론군을 놓쳤다니.
Thou could not hold on to young Charon? How, what? Dawn, be prepared to take off your shoes. I think we might need it. Soud grimaced, her expression an amalgamation of guilt and confusion. It was a far cry from her usual collected self.
혹시 카론님이 인질로 붙잡히신 건가요?
Did they take Charon hostage? Yes. I
카론이
could not stop them
그자들에게
from
붙잡히는
taking
걸
Charon.
막을 수 없었어요.
Enjoy your dinner, Eve, and don't worry, we're going to be here for a while, so you can come back anytime.
파일럿이는요?
What about Pilot?
상처가 깊지만 의식은 마지막까지 남아 있었어요.
Pilot was heavily wounded, but the last time I saw him, he was conscious.
우선 전투부터 준비하죠.
We should prepare for battle, now.
적어도 목표는 명확하군요. 쫓아온 습격자를 처리한 뒤 카론을 구하면 될 것 같습니다, 관리자님. 비록 적의 의중은 아직 알 수 없지만
At least our current objective is clear, Executive Manager. First, we take out the pursuers, then rescue Kara, while the exact motive of the perpetrators is yet to be revealed.
어쩌면 이 습격이 끝이 아닐지도 몰라요. 아까 이곳으로 도망치던 와중에 본사에 무전이 흘러들어왔는데
We may be facing multiple fronts. I briefly picked up a transmission from HQ while running this way and... There it is. A sudden buzz of white noise breaks through the truck's silence. Any station, respond. Soud froze, staring at the radio's speaker. Gregor was the first to act in her place. Makes sense, he is the military veteran, so he knows that he needs to act.
여기는 LCB. 상황 전파를 한다.
This is LCB, I read you. What's your situation? Over? Yeah, yeah, we might need Dawn to take off her shoes because... Oh boy. Or, Ryoshu to actually unsheath her sword. HQ research facility.
연구소?
Research facility? Under attack. My darling daughter, I hope you've been doing well for yourself out there. And there is the problem guy. But don't you think it's about time you stopped playing and came home? Utter silence descends as a kindly calling cuts off the blood-curdling scream from the other side. The voice that came through the radio was nothing short of affectionate, and it was easy to guess who the daughter was.
시계, 거미줄이 쳐졌다.
The spiders have spun their web, clock. Yep. And I have a feeling I know which finger that guy is from. Index. Web.
피할 수 없는 길에 근사하게도 늘어놓았군.
And it's woven so intricately that there's no way around it. That's when I recall something Lei Heng had mentioned, the House of Spiders. Thinking back to how intensely Ryoshi reacted then, do you think these attackers have something to do with that Lei Heng guy from earlier?
그럴 리가.
Unlikely. No, Lei Heng was the thumb, although he was also a pinky. This is clearly.
그놈은 스쳐가는 과외 선생들 중 하나였을 뿐이다.
He was just one of my many passing tutors, which is impressive considering he was that powerful.
그럼 도대체 누가 다른 것도 아니고 본사잖아요.
And who could have? It's the headquarters for crying out loud.
모르겠어요. 본사는 침입자들이 원한다고 막무가내로 들어올 수
I
있는
don't know.
장소가 아니에요.
The HQ. It's not the kind of place someone can just force their way into.
그곳에 무단 침입이라니 생각조차 해본 적 없어서.
Breaking into a place like that, it's completely unthinkable. Heyo, Magscab, welcome, welcome. We're just about to move into our first real fight of the Canto. What now? Usually, I would use my intuition to choose the best course of action and lead the sinners during a mission. But who would have thought that the HQ, which was meant to brief us about the mission in the first place, would come under attack, especially while we were without a guide?
그래.
Fine.
그들이 날 직접 찾아올 리가 없지.
I didn't expect them to come find me themselves.
거미줄을 쳐놓으면 먹이는 알아서 걸려들기 마련이니.
Once the spiders have spun their web, they tend to wait for the prey to stumble into it after all. Yeah, but looks like these are different spiders. Or they're using different tactics. A plume of cigarette smoke lingered for a moment before scattering into the air. When I looked at Ryoshu's face, what I saw was an expression of strange euphoria. Honestly, not too surprised, she is kind of a freak.
류슈 씨, 혹시 당신에게는 이 모든
Ryoshu,
상황이
is this all just
그저 재밌는 일에 지나지 않는 건가요?
some amusing diversion for you? No, she is going to go through her trauma and character development. That's how these things go. People go through trauma, then character development. Every single time. Sao shot an incredulous look at Ryoshu, who was nonchalantly puffing the rest of her cigarette to ash.
그래.
Here is.
그토록 고대하던 시간이 마침내 제 발로 찾아왔다.
The long-awaited moment has finally found me.
두근거리는 게 당연하지 않나?
Why wouldn't I be excited?
그런.
That's just.
하지만.
But don't
착각하지
presume.
마라. 유희에 대한 기대와 진심은 별개의 영역.
Like the cause is. Yeah, I can imagine she's also kind of scared. My excitement for the coming pleasure will not interfere with my effectiveness.
나는 단 한순간도 맡은 일을 유쾌하게 즐길지언정
I've never
가볍게 여긴 적이 없다.
I never once let enjoyment get in the way of taking the job seriously.
이전에도
Not ever.
지금도
Not now.
곧 이곳까지 올 거라 했지. 버스 기사를 데려간 놈도 여기로 오고 있는 건가?
Said the assailants will be here soon. Is the one who took the driver coming too? Caron.
카론 씨한테 무슨 일이라도 생기면
If anything happens to Miss Caron,
붉은 시선님을 볼 면목이 없어요.
I wouldn't be able to bring myself to face the red gaze. Oh yeah, I'd be terrified as well, but also I'd be ashamed. Tis.
대화가 안 되는군.
This isn't going anywhere.
거미들이 버스 기사를 건드리진 않을 거다.
The spiders won't hurt the driver.
버스 기사는 커다란 먹잇감을 낚기 위한 미끼일 뿐.
She's
사냥감이 아니거든.
just their bait to lure out the bigger prey. They want to capture the red gaze, eh? Well, I wish them luck, because Virgilius is terrifying.
그러니 볼성사납게 떨지 말고 세팅이나 하도록.
So stop panicking and set us up. It's unsightly.
네?
What?
이 트럭의 뒷문. 지금 당장 본사 연구소로 연결할 수 있는 건가?
The back door of this truck. Can it connect us directly to the HQ research facility right this instant?
잠시만요.
Wait, it
가능하긴
can,
한데.
but... Oh yeah, back door basically teleportation technology.
본사로 직행하는 뒷문 포탈을 이용하려면 좌표에 맞는 보안 코드를 확인해야 해서 조금 시간이 걸릴 거예요.
To use the backdoor portal that leads straight to the HQ, I need to verify the security code written specifically for each coordinate. It's going to take some time.
곧 내 놈을 쫓아온 녀석을 상대하고 들어가면 딱 맞겠고.
Gives us enough time to deal with your pursuer. Okay, I want to know what the pursuer is. Assault navigated through the vehicle's machinery with her remaining arm. The sinners all began to keep watch at their surroundings, weapons at the ready.
그런데 본사로 가도 괜찮은 거 맞나요? 함정에 제 발로 들어가는 기분인데.
So are we sure it's a good idea for us to head to the HQ? I feel like we're walking ourselves into a trap here. Oh yeah, it's a trap. But is a trap that you know is a trap still a trap? Or is it a trap for the one who's trying to spring the trap, but you're going to spring a trap on them with your own trap?
차라리 대관원에 도움을 요청하는 건 어떨까요?
What if we request assistance from Da Huang Yan? I'm so going to be happy to be away from these Chinese names instead.
방법은 될 수 있겠지.
That can be a solution,
하지만
yes.
본사가 엮인 이상 친분이 있다 해도 날개의 손을 빌려 해결했다간 차후 어마어마한 대가를 치러야 할 거다.
That can be a solution, yes. However, as this concerns our HQ, resolving this crisis with help from the wing, even one whose leader we are on good terms with, will require an enormous favor to be repaid.
관리자님, 어떻게 하시겠습니까?
Your decision, executive manager. No, we can't involve them. We'll head straight to the HQ research facility as soon as Saud opens the portal. It wasn't hard to intuit that Ryoshu's turn had arrived, given her evidence and excitement. If so, the back door leading to the HQ, which Ryoshu intends to use, should be the path we're meant to take this time. So, quick prediction here. Since we know that all 5 of the fingers are involved, and we know that Limbus Company got the backdoor technology from, I think they stole it from the Ring. I think what happened is the Ring provided technology to the spiders, and my current theory is that the guy at the HQ is Index, so he probably followed the prescripts to find the right path to get to the HQ. At least that's my theory.
각오하는 게 좋을 거다.
Better prepare yourselves.
이 앞은 분명 나락일 것이고.
Oh, it's like a hell screen. What awaits us without a single shred of doubt is hell. They want to stall him out of what they... Yeah, true. It's definitely a trap for Ryoshu. And they don't want Virgilius to get involved because he would still probably stomp most of their asses. At least he'd do it if he gets serious. And there in its
기다리고
depths
있던 게 있었어.
lies something that has always been waiting for me. Yeah, it is nice they explain and give reasons. Project Moon is very good at their storytelling and making sure everything makes logical sense.
천장의 소리. 아무래도 습격자가 차량을 발견한 모양이야.
Alt strums above us, walking the vehicle's roof. We have been found.
이거 부서지기 전에 일단 넓은 곳으로 나가는 게 낫지 않겠냐?
Then shouldn't we get out of the truck before it caves in over our heads?
아니요. 이 트럭은 피사의 특이점이 적용되어 있다고 했잖아요. 외부로부터 안전하게 보호해 주는 거요. 오히려 안에 있는 게
No, P-Corp Singularity protects this truck, remember? Something that's supposed to keep whatever's inside safe. We should just lie low in here until...
안전한 건 맞지? 지금 천장에 살짝 금 간 것 같지 않아?
You sure about that? I can see a teensy crack in the ceiling.
네?
A crack?
원래가
That makes no
분명
sense.
판성이 강해서 어지간한 힘에는 휘기만 할 텐데.
The ceiling should be elastic enough to bend under most physical impacts without cracking. Yeah, but these are fingers.
차량형 이동장치 외벽에 피사의 특이점이 적용된 것은 맞습니다.
It is true that the exterior of this vehicular transport device utilizes P-Corp Singularity. See you, Viridian. Welcome, Scrapworks. Welcome. And welcome to the stream.
그래서 트럭은
That is why this
밖에서
truck
볼
is more
때보다
spacious
많이
inside than it appears
넓고
from the
외부
outside,
침략으로부터 방어하기 좋죠.
and has good defenses against external forces.
다만 피사에서 저희가 탑승했던 실험 모델과 달리 이 차량은 비포팀의 원활한 배치를 목적으로 운영되는 저가형 모델로 보이는군요.
However, unlike the experimental model we boarded in P-Corp, this vehicle appears to be a more affordable model used flexibly as a shuttle for the before team's deployment. Basically, we're in the cheaper one so they don't have as good defenses. So, in other words, it can be broken.
충분한 성능을 위해서는 언제나 그에 걸맞은 값이 들고 그렇지 않은 제품은 특이점이라 한들 파괴될 수 있다는 겁니다.
That is to say that for Singularity's technology to perform at a competent level, a higher level of investment is required. Budget models, even those of Singularities, can still end up being countered.
싸구려라는 거네.
So they cheaped out. Yep, that honestly makes sense.
그렇다면 거미집의 아비는 아니군.
Then the assailant is not one of the nurse fathers from the House of Spiders. Okay, that's good. Then we actually have a chance.
아비 중 한 명이었다면 이 정도 벽은 첫 소음과 함께 박살냈을 테지.
If it was one of them, the first shock would have shattered this wall to pieces.
처음부터 강한 놈이 나타나는 건 너무 단조로운 전개일 테니.
And reminder, she likes her art, so I suppose kicking off with the top dogs would have made for a rather bland story progression. Excuse me? Yeah, it would have, and we probably would have gotten our asses kicked. The nurse fathers. Wait, you mean the same people who lay hang?
사담은 상황이 끝난 뒤에 해도 늦지 않다.
We'll have time for speculations later.
관리자님, 곧 천장 부분이 파괴될 것 같습니다.
Executive manager, the ceiling's about to cave in. Go for the kill the moment they get inside. Well, the ceiling caved in. Okay, looking at his attire, I'm currently thinking he's a thumb. He's a member of the thumb. At the ready, men. Wait, don't engage. Though we were ready ourselves to skewer the intruder the moment he stepped inside, we had to immediately backtrack on that idea when we saw what he was who he was carrying. Caron. She is only unconscious, and she's breathing still. I see.
일부러 저자의 팔만 잘라내고 그 흔적을 따라 추적했나?
You cut Sal's arm off so that you'd have something to track her down with.
예상대로 동료들에게 도움을 구하기 위해 온 것을 보니
She has gone straight to seek help from her comrades.
반응을 지켜본 것은 옳은 판단이었던 것 같군요.
It was indeed a correct decision for us to wait and see how she'd react. The intruder continued, glancing towards Sao. As if in response to that, Ryoshu placed her hand on her scabbard. Ryoshu? Wait, are you drawing the sword?
버스 기사가 다칠 일은 없을 테니.
BDOK. They won't dare hurt the bus driver. Sinclair, translation.
그러니 시계. 난장 피우지 마라.
So don't make a fuss, Clock.
그게 무슨... 요시 씨!
What do you mean she's okay, Ryoshu? Ryoshu ignored Sinclair and rushed towards the intruder, her scabbard cleaving through the air.
막았나?
Oh, parried that, did you?
인질은 신경도 쓰지 않으시는 겁니까?
Have you no regard for the hostage's life?
내 놈들이 죽게 둘 리 없지. 인질의 목숨으로 붉은 길잡이의 분노를 살 계획은 없을 테니.
Also, I do like they've been very nice and creative here by showing flashes and movement with obviously just their sprite work. You won't dare let her die unless you're planning to incur the Red Guide's wrath. And yeah, he might be annoyed at what you're doing to Charon, but if she actually dies, oh boy, he is going to pull a Roland and be rampaging. Like Ryoshu said, the intruder was only defending himself against her strikes without harming Charon, just as the other sinners were stepping up to join the assault.
전투의 예법을 다하기 위해 한 분씩 상대해드리려 했습니다만
I had intended to face you one at a time, as the propriety of honorable combat dictates, but...
스승님이 올 때까지 이 자를 넘겨줘서는 안 되는 상황인지라.
Unfortunately, since I cannot let you take her back until my master arrives. The fuck are those? Well, it's clear they're enjoying the body horror this time. The intruder gestured with his hand, and strange, bizarre things dropped through the ceiling with a thump.
빌려온 무기를 사용해야겠군요.
I must resort to using some borrowed weapons. So, if I had to make a guess, he is Thumb because they have their obsession with propriety. These two things are probably work from a ring member. Are those distortions or monsters of some kind? No. I think they're people.
저 자식이 말한 그 스승이란 놈.
His master.
버질리우스가 상대하고 있댔지.
Virgilius is supposed to be handling whoever that is, yeah?
특색날이 분명 카론군이 붙잡혀서 제대로 싸우지 못하고 있는 것이라 생각한다네.
The color most illustrious must be deterred from wielding his full might on account of young Charon's capture.
카론을 구해서 본사든 어디든 도망치기만 해도 길잡이가 전력을 다할 수 있는 거 아니냐?
Then we rescue Charon and book it to the HQ or wherever. That will let the guide go all out. Yeah? Yeah, that seems the best shot what we have at this moment. Still, let's be careful and prioritize Charon's safety above all else. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with. So, let's see the statistics. Load. Okay, it's one of these battles. Hey, Queenie. Okay. Okay, so yes, I was correct. These are ring adjacent. These are ring guys. That's good to know. Good information here. Here, so let's see. What are their skills? So they appear to be a bleed focused unit. So simple bleed attack, jab, vascular tear. If we have bleed, more negative status effects, they get extra bonus, and automaton myofiber active. And hit. What does this do? Let's see. Deals per stack. Combat start at 2 stacks. Convert all coins used goes into a. Okay. Okay, so avoid clashing with these guards. So I have to avoid that. Artwork liberation of bones congenite on cardiac rhythm. The base power when they're missing 20%. And base power for every bleed on target. Clash win. Okay, they get paralyzed, they lose. Last one's unbreakable. Point stall. 0.4 HP. Okay, so these guys are very... Okay, makes sense. Passives, target has... Okay, so I have to avoid getting too many status effects. Got it. That can go into that. That'll flow into that. That flows into that. Don't use that just yet. That's a neutral one. Okay, that flows into that. That flows into that. And that can flow into that. Okay. And start. Gaze in contempt on this mediocre art. Still, I think I chose the correct team. Well, mostly correct. So momentum's starting to get a bit of momentum here. Sorry, this is going to be a struggle. So okay, good. This is a clashable guard. Not going to actually hit them. This is going into another clashable guard. Sided guard. Want to try and avoid clashing with that guard as much as possible. Okay, that should do it, and go. Don Quixote, do the thing. Hail, stab. Okay, good.
아니야. 마이너 아르카나 정도겠지? 조심해. 마이너라고 해도 생각보다 잘할 수 있으니까. 내가 응원해줄게.
Okay, Dawn, you're going to hit that with an ego skill. Hit that. You're hit here. So you shoot our friends to shoot. Okay, that should work, and go. Now, Dawn, the main thing is you need to hit him. Charge! Yes, our dream is within our grasp. Go. 1, 2, 3. Good, staggered. Now his unbreakable coins don't do anything. Now they're staggered, good. Good. Gaze of contempt. Okay, that worked very well. Darn, well, he's our tank, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, wrong guy.
이번엔 이 놈인가? 나도 거들.
그대로 뼈소리라.
해냈구나. 나라도 그랬을 거야.
Good, the AoE skill started going out. That should take care of most of them.
시선에 눈이 멀지 않도록.
있잖아. 사실 마법 소녀들은 항상 인력난에 시달리거든.
Get there.
너희만 괜찮다면
There.
혹시 우리를 도와서 아니야. 그건 선택의 순간이
Next.
필요하니까.
Next wave, that
내가 정할 순 없어.
should be a fairly simple one. So far, I think this is a good team for this particular one, but I feel like I'm going to have to change things up.
구멍투성이가 되어
정말 잘했어.
이 혈투를 승리로 이끌.
악당들을 죽여야지만 정의가 존재할 수 있는
Okay,
법인데
there.
불쌍하게 느낄 필요는 없지 않아?
Yeah, we won. Frozen Thorns. And yeah, that should work. Go.
갑니다.
구멍투성이가 되어
이번엔 이 놈인가? 나도
Now shoot the bullet.
마침내 깊은
That caused a lot of damage.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
엎드리도록.
And that guy got stunned. And okay, I think we've gotten the momentum of this fight. Thing about Limbus company is it's a very
앞으로도 그렇게만
well,
해주세요.
momentum focused combat system.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
Once. Bum, bum, bum.
영원히 잠들어라.
Bum, bum, bum,
악당
bum.
배치 성공. 오늘도
Okay, good.
정말 멋진 활약이었어.
That went well. That went
내일도
well.
꼭 불러주기야. 세상이 평화로워지는 건 기쁜
Okay.
거야.
That was one. Now let's do a quick hydrate of water.
내일도 지금처럼 조용하려나?
Ah. Delicious.
경외라. 혹은 괄목하든가.
Good. Let's see.
평범과 비범은
Makes sense.
이렇게나 큰 차이를 보이지. 한낱 날개 따위에 안주할 내가 아니다만.
Next one is textbook.
아직 그 실험들의
So same guy, but we also have to deal with the other guy.
참도록 할까.
Boy. Now, also, this time I'm actually going to remember to
차례냐?
grab
나를
everyone.
불렀나?
말뚝을 쑤셔 넣어 주죠.
Do I have any better wrath-based? Not particular with him. Oh well.
명령이라면
Oh well, he'll just be there as a sacrificial pawn. Still, that went well for the first one. Now for the... Yeah, I'm aware, but everything just leveled up. I don't have the EXP. Okay, this is a focused encounter. We're going to have to lock in and focus. Ah. I was correct, he's Thumb. Thumb Apprentice Lucio. Let's see. La Spada di Palermo. So he's a Thumb, Tremor, and Burn. So Tremor and Burn. Alpi, so Tremor count, click burn, tremor, your tremor burst, unknown, unknown. If target the dual escalates, deal. Some apprentice gains skill power, damage that every clash with this unit. Turn end if this did not clash. Okay, so it's a counter duel. I have to avoid dueling him at whenever I can. So gain some Nurse Father's command. So he's weakened. In a clash against Ryoshu, clash power minus and convert the coins on this skill into unbreaking. So also on clash loss deal and on hit and you do not activate. Okay, so clashing against the target this unit clashed against. Okay, so I have to just keep switching. Gain the following effects based on targets. Every stack plus 5 can damage. Plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to have to... So the way this sort of works is I need to swap things around. Every 3 turns, select reduce their speed to 1 and target it with all this unit's skills. Okay. This effect. Stagger, activate next turn. Cleaving Blade. Continuous trigger. Okay. Panic. Fixed panic type. Everyone is fixed. Cash loss, game fragile. Okay, not really relevant. Okay, so anyone hostage situation. And when clashing with Thumb, -1 clash power, heal. So I need to use Ryoshu in these types to deal most of my damage. Okay, makes sense. Deal plus health and staggered immediately recover. Okay, makes sense. Let's see, these 2 guys I can skip. They're guarding skills, don't need to bother with that. Who do you target for this? Okay. Let's start with Ryoshu. Need to get the momentum going on in my favor with this. We'll favor there. Struggling on both, so I'm gonna have you off one side of guard. Let's focus on. And can't offset it, so I'm gonna start with this, see how things go. Okay, go. Darn it. Oh well. Let's stack the bleed, stacks on him. That's expected. Okay, good. Stack the bleed, stacks. That's not...
어떤 상황이 닥쳐도 포기하지 마세나. 저들의 공격은 우리의 투지를 꿰뚫을 수 없을 테니.
Okay, I'm gonna have to... Alright, now I'm gonna have to be clever with this. Who doesn't have this? Alright, so first things first. Let's start to be a bit clever. And... There. Not clashing, dodging. That should be a different thing. Okay, you don't... And you don't have it, so... Then you can take... You can take that one. Thankfully, you're a bit of a tank, so... So you could probably tank... You're a tank, so you're meant to stop these types of things, so... That should... Where are you targeting? Okay, so you can tank that one. There, that prevents other ones from attacking, and now we can focus on taking down the minions. The key here is denying him his duel. You have to deny him what he wants. Deny him the duel, deny him his pleasure. Okay, that should do it. Let's see if this works. Don Quixote, please don't job. Please don't job. Okay, and... Yes, stack up the gaze and contempt. What was that? Oh well. Okay, good. Now... Yeah, that's literally like a blood spider. Dodge. Okay, only one hit. But... Yeah, we dropped... Most of us dropped our stats. You're not getting the duel you desire... Oh. What the hell is that? Okay. It cannot be staggered. For every attack skill of this unit that has lost final power, you'll... Okay, I see what I need to do. I'm so happy I committed to my plan last turn because, oh boy, this is gonna be a trip. So, can you have your highest? Can you block any of them? None of these. So we'll just deal with that one. And you happen to have... Okay, there, that should put that attack at the end of the row. I don't like using... So now I can use any of those. No, so I'll first put you in that. Right, now. Neutral favored. Good. Favored. Good. Okay. Neutral. Okay. And you deal with that one. So we should hopefully be able to deal with this guy. Hopefully. Okay, go for it. Please don't job. Why are you jobbing? Don, you had to job. You just had to job. Ryoshu, why are you jobbing?
다시 해보십시오.
I think it's the hostage situations making this hard. Okay, now heal thyself, priest. Thank mercy I decided to use an ego skill here.
아름다운 춤을 추는 건 나뿐이어야 해. 그럼 네 발목을 잘라버리면.
At least that's something that should.
해냈구나.
발레름을
나라도 그랬을 거야.
레스토나 이체로 시험 완료했습니다.
Okay, good. Most of the damage was mitigated.
행진의 꽃, 이것이 서구의 피날레다.
And some of our units healed up. There was not looking. So you're staggered, that's a problem. Although you're the target as well, that's also a problem. Also, this music is sweet as usual. Good job, Project Moon. So who doesn't have the? You don't. You don't. You don't have it. You have it. You have it. Oh, you have it as well. Okay, so let's first prioritize the guys who don't have the debuff. So okay, let's. Yoshi, I'm going to have you break out your ego for a moment. I need to get the extra. Who else doesn't have it? You don't. Oh, this actually works. This actually works. This is not a clash. Next one, unfortunately, is a clashable guard, so... Priest, I'm going to ask you to take that hit instead. Actually... No, I don't. Oh, okay, so... Let's think here, so... I have 3 more to... Priest, can you take on any of these? No, that's hopeless. That's a neutral. Take that guy down. Hope. This. That's struggle. That's favorite. That can take there. Struggle. That's hopeless. Even if you stagger, that's... Struggle, that's hopeless, and... Even if you get staggered and hurt there, this... At very least you will be able to take that guy down, and... Okay, I think everything's accounted for. Go! Okay, now inflict fragile on him. That should weaken him and give us an opening. Okay. Good, you're not jobbing. Good. He is. Keep his sanity down. Okay, that guy's taken care of. Well, he jobbed, but he's a tanker. He's a tankier character. Dodge the attacks, good. Honestly, I expect that to happen. That was part of my plan.
하지만 아직 더 할 수 있으신 거 알고 있습니다. 조금 더 해보시죠.
Alright, so who has the debuff now? You do. Roshi, you can't attack him this time. You're back up, you don't have the debuff. You do. Okay. You're back up, so that means can you stop any of these attacks coming in? Okay, you can also dismantle that guy. I have that debuff still, but I'm gonna need someone with. Now you can take that one. I'll just have to have you not do it next turn. Okay. Heal self and. No, wait, don't use ego resources just yet. Struggling, favored. Okay. And who is this focused on? Focused on you. Okay, that should allow you to do there, and then you can pose and pose and pose. Okay, that's annoying, but fine. You focus your neutral struggling. Memory, no. Best I can do, and what back in there, okay, I think I can get away with not doing that there, and okay, let's see if this works as I think it's gonna work. Go. Okay, good. Taking out. Good. And as expected, you dropped. But that's fine, you're tanky. He has this cascading gaze. Oh wait. So that's a decent amount of damage now. Good, you took that. Shoot him in the face. Shoot him again. Okay, one stagger, but that's fine. That's fine. I can handle this. Okay, let's see here. Who has the fewest that I can use in this situation? You have 3. Your Don Quixote doesn't have any. Good. I need a Don, can this stop this? No. This is targeting him. There, that should at least weaken it. That guy's gonna die no matter what happens. I can actually ignore him. Oh. Sorry, does he get fresh ones whenever a new one dies? That's annoying. Okay. Let me think here. You have the debuff? What's the situation? Sorry, tactical counter counted, unfortunately. Still, I can work with this. Let's do a healing situation. Higher attack rate will also help. Are you kidding me? Are you the only one who can actually... That's fine. I can work with this. What's his... work with this. Favored. Favored and struggle. That's dominating. Now the rest of you, you can just unleash as much damage as you can into him. You need to weaken him as much as possible. I swear, this is clearly a taste of the fight. Like, this is clearly like a taste of what's to come. Okay, next up. Go, 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 go. Stab, stab, stab. Stab. Okay, good. Oh boy, this is going to be a problem. This is bad, this is bad, this is very bad. Well, there, I just lost like several units. Oh boy. Yeah, that's how Limbus Company rolls. Sometimes you just sort of... One moment everything's going fine, the next moment you lose half your roster. Thankfully, I had some good units in my roster. Don't worry, we can still do this. This is still within our margin of error. Alright, so. Deal with that. Yep. With that. Because you don't have the clash thing on him. So then deal with that, and you rules of the back. Okay, I guess not rules of the back street. Then rules of the back street, that guy down. Why is that so? There it is. And Don, you focus on... Yeah, Don, you focus on something else to get your... You focus on something else and go. Oh, are you seriously jobbing? At least you're shooting him in the face. Still, at least you'll get some free damage on him, although... But Don, heal yourself up. Yep, Roche, good job, good job. Gaze and contempt. More gaze and contempt. Come on, just a bit closer, just a bit closer. Good, 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 good. Good. Use this, heal thyself, priest. Yeah, more of these guys just pop up every time. Let's see. Still, it's fine, it's fine. Everything's still within calculations. Everything's still within my calculations, so... Okay, so... Remember about clashing. You have to keep clash. You clash with loss in mind. So you haven't clashed. Oh darn! You don't have any usable skill there. So you just take out that guy. Then Ryoshu, you need to drop that. Don Quixote, you hit someone else, so you're now free to clash against him. Okay, you can do that as a means to. That can be a use later if we need it. Okay, and I can redirect this one with a defensive skill that won't do. And who's this targeting? Okay, I can afford that guy to not do anything there. And okay, I think this should be a good idea and should work. Go. All gaze and all in contempt. Contempt stack itself. Okay. Come on, we're so close to getting a stagger on him. So and you just charge up. Don't fear the absence of brilliance. It's okay. And this is just the apprentice. I do not look forward to fighting the big boss. Okay, you dodged. Good. Okay, now he's using the big attacks. Okay, who are you targeting? Heathcliff. That's actually pretty good. His eco skill is very good in these. Is usually very good in these situations. Okay, so you don't have any of that. Don Quixote, you only have one, so that should be good. You can dominate that one, and you can dominate that one. Okay, good. And Ryoshu, do you don't have it, so good. You can take that. Now you two can distract these guys. Alright, this has our good chance of winning. Let's see if this works. Gaze and Yep, get this free damage on him. Good job, Don. You're only doing so well because you have a hostage nerfing my units. He's staggered. Huh. Alright, I've got. That weakens him more. Good. Okay, good. We took him out. Phew, that was a difficult one. He sees the back door side of the truck. Even if the portal opens, we can't. Doesn't change what needs to be done. Take care of him. Get the bus early and head off to HQ. Fuck's sake, we can't even fight full out. Despite Ryoshu's assurances, the sinners did not share her confidence that no harm would come to Carol. Yeah, I mean, it's kinda still hard to fight against when you know it's a situation of a hostage situation. So, they were confined to fending off the animated corpses unable to fight aggressively. Ryoshu was the only one unfazed enough to raise her sword against the assailant in this cramped battlefield.
미련한 새끼. 팔을 더 직선으로 뻗으라고. 도대체 몇 번을 말해야 알아쳐먹지?
Bothersome little half-wit. Arms straight, I said. How many times? Just how many times must I repeat myself? Oh, stop making a fuss. It couldn't have hurt that much. On your feet.
뭘 잘했다고 누워서.
Get off your ass. What makes you think you deserve a break?
꼴불견같이 굴지 말고 다시 검 잡아. 똑바로 구워.
Quit being a whiny little brat.
할 수 있잖아.
And pick up that sword. Slash straight. See? That wasn't so hard, was it?
한 번만 더 엄살 부리면 그때는 머리카락을 다 뜯어버릴 거니까.
If I ever hear you whining again, I'll rip your hair clean off your head. So get your act together. You.
이 검술에 대해 알고 있군.
You're no stranger to this sword style.
그렇습니다. 팔레르모. 저 또한 그 검술을 배웠기에.
Palermitan style. I have been trained in it as well.
팔랭치나. 매번 술에 쩔어 있는 그놈에게 배웠나?
Did you learn it from Valencina, that booze hound?
그런 저속한 단어로 그분을 욕보이지 마시게.
I must ask you not to insult her from such a crude epitaph.
당부하신 명령이 있습니다.
My master gave me an order when she imparted the style onto me.
당신의 검술과 한없이 닮아질 때까지 단련하라.
To temper and hone it until my mastery of it became indistinguishable from yours.
이제 제 팔레르모는 검의 집에 있던 과거의 당신과 비슷한 수준에 도달했습니다.
My swordcraft is now on par with that of your past self when you still belong to the House of Spiders.
검술을 배워 이해하는 것도 아니고 그저 날 베껴내려 했다.
Learning it without understanding anything and only obsessively copying me.
그깟 흉내내기를 위해 시간을 할애하다니 우습지도 않아.
Wasting time with such mimicry. It's beyond ridiculous.
모방뿐이라면 검을 쥔 손목의 각도, 두 발의 간격, 검의 무게 중심.
If you're no more
그중 하나라도 어긋났을 때
If you're no more than a copycat, then the angle of the wrist, the distance between the feet, the balance of the sword itself, every one of these has to be exact, because even a single incongruity.
왜 처맞을 걸 알면서도 자세가 자꾸 달라지니?
Are you actually that incompetent, or do you enjoy the beating? Maintain your stance.
가짜는 대가리 쓰지 말고 알려준 방법대로만 해. 외운 것만 빼먹지 말고 그냥 움직이라고.
Don't bother your stupid head trying to be clever, and just stick to what you've been taught. Take what you memorized and moved.
하루라도 빨리 네가 모든 것을 배워내는 검으로 완성되어야 나도.
The sooner you become a blade that cuts through all, the better. Only then can I...
언제 무너질지 모르는 외줄타기 같은 검술.
I will break your form, making your swordsmanship as precarious as a tightrope walk headed straight for a fall.
너도 저기 있는 인형과 다를 게 없군.
You're no different from those wind-up dolls over there.
태엽 인형이어도 상관없습니다.
Call me a wind-up doll all you want. It doesn't matter.
당신 또한 팔레르모를 제대로 귀엽고 구사도 하지 못하게
You, likewise, are unable to recall and properly wield the Palermitan style,
저는 제 필요성을 다시금 납득하고 있습니다.
which tells me my usefulness has not yet run its course.
같은 자세를 1000번, 안 되면 10,000번을 반복해서라도 당신이 배운 모든 자세를 완벽히 구현할 수 있어야만.
I must perfect every form you've been taught, even if I must repeat the same stance 1,000, no, 10,000 times over.
당신만을 위한 완벽한 교본이 될 수 있을 테니.
If I am to be a perfectly tailored textbook for you. Oh? Okay, yeah, this is... It's very clear that they have a plan for Ryoshu.
내 놈 같은 애새끼 학습지 교본은 필요 없다면?
What if I said I have no need for childish study aids?
거절은 의미가 없습니다. 제 교본으로서의 역할은 이미 시작되었으니까요.
A rejection is inconsequential. My role as your textbook has already begun.
그렇다면 나만의 예술.
Then I will illustrate my very own art for you.
형체조차 남지 않게 갈라버려야겠군.
Until you're slashed and cleaved beyond recognition.
눈이 다시 아작난 걸 보니까 여기 맞네. 우리 티켓 있는 곳.
Damn, my eyes torn up again. Yep, I landed on the right place. That's my ticket, all right. Oh. Yeah. And there's the person who was able to, I'm assume, fight against Virgilius.
내가 말했잖니, 루치오.
I told you, Lucio. And there's a thumb waifu. You know, I think I saw some fan art. People have acted very quickly and I can see the vibe they're going for with her. Very nice.
너는 몇 년을 더 노력해도
You could spend years honing your skills.
우리 요시대 따라잡으려면 한참 남았다고.
That still won't be enough to catch up to our Yoshihide. The man staggered a little, his head jerking to the side from the impact of the blow.
어때? 직접 보니까 느껴지지 않니?
Isn't it obvious now that you've seen it yourself?
지금 네 수준이 얼마나 형편없어.
How sad and pathetic your progress is.
이래서 전쟁도 못 겪어본 것들은 한눈만 팔아도 모가지가 터져버리는 곳에서 진짜 굴러봐야.
This is the problem with greenhorns who haven't had a taste of the war. They don't know what it's like to crawl through the muck and grime of the battlefield, where the slightest inattention can get your head blown clean off.
강자를 상대할 때는 힘으로 맞서지 말고 칼끝을 걸어 공격을 흘려보내라고 내가 몇 번이나 강조했잖아.
When faced with a superior opponent, don't just rely on brawn, but redirect the force of their attack to the side by locking their arc with the tip of your sword. I've said it time and again.
다수를 상대할 때는 자세를 낮추고 궤적을 가로로 크게 휘두르라고도. 내가 목이 쉬도록 말해줬는데 그걸 까먹어?
And when you're outnumbered, lower your form and draw wide arcs with your sword. Did you forget everything I drilled into you after shouting myself hoarse?
구석에서
Secure a corner,
한 놈씩 불러들이게.
force them to get to you in single file,
위치 선정을 하라고도 했는데.
because positioning is everything. Didn't I tell you all of this before?
우리 요시대가 하나라도 더 내가 가르친 걸 떠올리려면
If Yoshihide is to
요번에
recall
하자는 없어야지.
even one more lesson from me, the textbook can't afford to have any defect.
죄송합니다, 스승님.
Forgive me, master.
그래도 이거 챙기라는 명령은 잘 들었네. 아주 쓸모가 없진 않아.
But you did manage to collect this one as instructed. Maybe you're not completely useless after all. Hatred thick in her voice, Ryoshu hissed the number nursemaid under her breath, the thumb nursemaid, sorry, nurse father, under her breath as she shifted into a blade drawing stance against the second assailant. Oh yeah, oh boy. I can see that Ryoshu is kind of pissed at seeing this woman.
야, 잘 지냈어, 티켓?
How have you been doing, Ticket?
역시 못 보던 사이에 자세가 개판이 됐던데. 검을 그딴 식으로 쥐는 걸 보니
Forms
안 나오네.
Forms really become a wreck since you were away.
바꾸려고 나한테 그렇게 쳐맞았었는데 기억은 나니?
Just seeing that sloppy grip makes me sigh. I had to beat that habit out of you back in the day, remember?
그래도 간만에 제외니까 기본 예의 정도는 차려줄게. 옛날처럼 뺨따기를 쳐 맞아야 정신 차릴 나이는 지났잖아.
Still, this reunion's been a long time coming, so I suppose I owe you a bit of courtesy. You're old enough now to understand what I'm saying without me having to resort to the occasional backhand, aren't you?
티켓이라.
Ticket.
날 아직도 그렇게 부르는 걸 보아하니.
Still intent on calling me that, huh?
내 놈도 여전히 그 구렁텅이에서 벗어나지 못했나 보군.
Clearly, you're still just a sad sack of shit stuck wallowing in a sinkhole of your own making.
네 놈? 지금 나한테 말한 거지?
Did you just call me a sack of shit?
이 개새끼가 이제는 위아래도 모르고 기어오르네.
Which is extra impressive because, well, she's Thumb. Disrespect is usually gets you killed. Especially disrespect to your betters. Ha, bitch, you should know your place before balking at your betters. Huh? Virgilius? Sensing a sudden presence outside, the so-called Thumb nurse father snatched Charon into her arms and swiftly assumed a fighting stance. Up, there's Virgilius. Hello, Dad. We have some troublemakers to slaughter. Ooh, cutscene moment. Hello, Virgilius.
자, 악당 퇴치 성공.
Yep, she.
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어. 내일도 꼭 불러주기야. 세상이
Good job,
평화로워지는 건
Queenie.
기쁜 거야. 근데 내일도 지금처럼 조용하려나?
이번 일에 대해
Manager Dante.
미안하다는 말을 전해야겠군요.
Seems that I must apologize for what has happened today. Virgilius.
저의 개인적인 일과 과거에 다 풀어내지 못했던 것이 남아 있었던지라 생각보다 돌아오는 것이 늦었습니다.
I was stalled by my personal issues and a certain unresolved business from the past.
상처가
Verge, you're hurt.
저들에게 입은 상처는 아니니 쓸데없는 걱정은 하지 말도록.
That's not from these assailants, so don't worry needlessly. Oh yeah, you need to be a bit stronger to hurt Virgilius.
공교롭게도 저들과 대치하기 전에 골치 아픈 일에 휘말렸을 뿐이다.
It just so happens that I was involved in a rather troublesome matter prior to encountering them.
죄송합니다, 붉은 시선님. 제가 끝까지 지켰어야.
It's all my fault, Red Gaze. I should have protected her. Saud's voice trembled as she apologized profusely to Virgilius.
아니, 내가 저놈을
No.
제대로 붙잡아두지 못했기 때문에 벌어진 일이다.
Okay, so interesting. This, And yeah, Virgilius is understanding. He knows that Sal is no, color fixer or high-tier combatant. She's mostly focused on other things than combat. No, this happened because I couldn't stop him from going after you.
하필 팔이 잘렸나?
And of course, he had to go for your arm.
상처가 점점 벌어지고 있군. 상황이 종료되면 곧장 치료부터 받도록.
That wound's looking worse by the second. Go get it treated the moment we deal with this situation. Honestly, I'm surprised he is still conscious. You lose consciousness very quickly with a wound like that. I will. Virgilius met the thumb nurse father's gaze head on.
암지. 겉으로는 명예를 앞세워도 비겁한 수단 없이는 제대로 된 임무를 수행하지 못하는 손가락.
The thumb, the finger that makes up for their incompetence with duplicity and cowardice, only to then hide it behind their mask of honor.
군사연구소가 습격당했다는 연락을 받은 동시에 당신들이 나타났다는 건
Appearing exactly as we received the transmission that the HQ research facility was under attack.
엔질이라는 고전적인 방법을 써서라도 나를 어떻게든 묶어두겠다는 건가?
Then your purpose here must be to stall me by any means, even if you have to resort to an old and tired method of like taking a hostage.
그 반응 역시 내가 제대로 찾았네.
Yes, the way you're reacting to this, I nailed it.
이게 당신의 케이크였어.
She's your cake.
티켓 기억나니? 네가 교양 없이 입가에 크림을 덕지덕지 묻히면서
Remember
처먹었던
ticket?
그날 내가 했던 말.
Remember what I told you when you so immodestly stuffed your face with that cake and smeared cream all over yourself.
그 더러운 꼬라지로 내 앞에서 웃고 있으면 케이크를 바닥에 쳐박고 싶어지니까.
Smiling like an idiot in such filth makes me want to smash that cake to the floor.
케이크가 아무리 달콤하고 맛있어도 내 앞에서 안달난 티 내지 말라고.
So don't you dare let on even a single hint of craving for that cake while I'm looking, no matter how sweet and delicious it might be.
내가 말했잖아.
Did I say ticket? What did I say?
자꾸 칠 거면
If you're gonna start trouble,
내가 눈치 못 채게.
you better not show it on your face.
표정 관리부터 완벽하게 하라고.
Else I'll catch on. Oh boy, Ryoshu clearly went through a lot of abuse as a kid. Stop fucking around and tell me straight.
똑바로 말해. 한 이유가 뭐야?
Tell me, why are you...
아니. 그냥 말하지 마. 계속 그렇게 입 다물고 있어봐. 한번.
You know what? Be like that. Keep mum and brood in silence all you want.
직접 그
I'll find that
찾았어.
now split. Okay, so what was so special about Ryoshu that they put this much effort into her and still allowed her to go?
내가 이 눈으로 너 하나 못 막을 것 같아?
You're not getting past me. You think this eye is just for show.
글쎄, 발렌치나, 네가 그 눈을 얼마나 신뢰하고 있는지는 모르겠다만.
Well, Valencina, I don't know how much confidence you're putting in that eyeball, but...
반쪽짜리가 된 그 유물로는 내 시간이 그리 오래 허비되지 않을 것 같군.
I doubt you'll stall me for long with that half-functioning relic of yours. A trickle of blood had begun dribbling down the intruder's cheek from her covered eye.
아, 이거?
Ah, this? but she grinned without a care.
그래. 티켓이랑 가까워지니까 욱신거리기 시작.
Oh yeah, it started hurting more and more the closer I got to Ticket.
하지만 곧 괜찮아질 거야. 티켓은 이제 여길 떠날 거거든.
But it's gonna get better. Ticket's about to leave this place, you see.
내 놈, 날 죽이는 게 목적이 아니군.
Shithead, you're not here to kill me, are you? No, she just wants to make sure you follow you go where they want you to.
근데 이 새끼
Shithead.
아까부터 자꾸 건방지게 꼬박꼬박 반말을.
Rude bitch, have you forgotten all about manners? The woman seemed to have a hard time holding her hand back from striking Ryoshu. This is an interesting experience. I'm interested in seeing what happens, because I don't think this is the last we've seen of her, not by a long shot. But after a few deep breaths, she visibly relaxed and continued on.
그걸 알면 뒷문이 열리는 대로 여기서 꺼져.
Glad you finally figured that out. Now fuck off as soon as that back door opens.
다른 아비들이 기다리고 있으니까 거기 가선 예의 있게 굴고.
The other nurse fathers are waiting for you there, so show some proper manners.
아, 머릿속이 뒤죽박죽이라 바로바로 떠올리기 힘들 텐데. 기다리면서 다른 아비들에게 할 말이라도 준비하지 그러니?
Or is that brain of yours too messed up to remember who's who and which is which? Why don't you take this time to think of what you're going to say to them?
잠깐만요. 그냥 보내줄 생각이라면 당장 카론 씨부터.
Hold on. If you're going to let us go anyway, why don't you let Karen...
아가리.
Zip it. Oh boy, it went black. Some nurse father muttered viciously.
나는 버릇없이 주제도 모르는 게 끼어드는 걸 제일 싫어해.
I hate presumptuous idiots who don't know their place, butting into conversations. And there's the thumb again. She considers there's Ryoshu close enough to her level for this to not to tolerate her disrespect, but now she's reacting as expected to the rest of the sinners.
티켓, 네 친구들이니?
Friends of yours, Ticket?
그렇다만.
Yeah. She considers us friends. Is that good?
그래? 뭐 그럼 다 보내도 괜찮겠네.
That's so. Then I don't suppose there's anything wrong with sending them all there.
먹잇감들이 알아서 날아오겠다는데 굳이 막을 이유는 없으니까.
After all, why discourage a swarm of flies from flying straight into the web we've spun? Her eye fixed intently on Virgilius, the thumb nurse father slowly backed away from the back door and opened the way for us. The back doors to HQ hasn't opened yet. We have to rescue Karen first, then.
망설이지 마십시오, 단테. 당신이 수감자들을 데리고 가야 할 길은 그쪽이 맞습니다.
Do not hesitate, Dante. This is indeed the path you must bring the sinners to. Virgilius continued coldly, as though he was reading my mind.
오히려 당신이 저자의 뜻대로 뒷문을 통해 가는 게 카론을 위한 일일 것입니다.
In fact, you should go through the back door like she says if you want to help Karen.
이건 저만을 묶기 위한 상황이고 저건 당신과 4번 수감자를 부르기 위한 상황이니 말이죠.
This entire circumstance at the back door has been engineered to hold me and only me back. And what awaits beyond the back door, is what they have orchestrated to summon you and sinner number 4 there.
그 말대로야. 쳐놓은 거미줄에 붉은색이 걸렸다가.
Correct. I wouldn't want your your dash of red
기껏 엮어둔 그물이 다 끊어지면
to
곤란하지.
snip our elaborate web to pieces.
본사까지의 포탈 전개 거의 끝났어요.
Portal connection to HQ almost established. Honestly, it's kind of a fun little story, not fun story, it's an interesting story situation by making it so that Virgilius can't be anywhere near this. This means that the stakes are very high, especially considering that this is an attack on the HQ.
그런데 이건 도대체 본사로 연결하는 보안망이 전부 뚫려 있는데.
But every firewall protecting connections to HQ has been bypassed. What?
보안이 무너진 뒷문을 통해 침입한 것인가?
Then it must be via the defenseless backdoor or backdoors through which the intruders have broken in.
본사 연구소와
Portal
연결됐어요.
connection to HQ established.
따라올 텐가?
Coming with,
파우스트가 가면
if Faust
이
goes,
조정기의 사용법을 숙지한 사람이 저밖에 남지 않아요.
Faust goes, I'll be the only one left here who knows how to operate the backdoor calibrator. Plus, you're kinda not going to be useful in a fight, so I think you should sit this out. I don't want you to die, Saud.
저는 베르길리우스님이 카론을 구출할 때까지 남겠습니다.
I'll stay behind, at least until Mr. Virgilius rescues Karen.
그럼 먼저 가지.
Then we'll go on ahead. As always, Ryoshu did not prolong the conversation. He did not bother to impart even a quick goodbye. So she walked into the shadows that awaited us beyond the corridor. I gave Saud a nod in her stead. Dante.
4번 수감자의 실은 팽팽하게 당겨져 있습니다.
Fourth sinner's thread is pulled tautly.
언제 끊어져도 이상하지 않으면서 동시에 어떤 날붙이보다도 예리해 닿는 것을 끊어버릴 수 있다는 점을.
It is precariously close to snapping, but it is also sharper than any blade, that it might sever all that it comes into contact with. You must remember that. The bonds, the red string of fate, is pulled taut. But what is on the other side? What kind of thread is Virgilius talking about? Snapping, severing. I haven't yet sure what exactly he was referring to. But it won't be severed, not when the chains bind us together. I replied, absent-mindedly rubbing the area where the chains that connected me to the sinners had burst out of.
가시죠.
Let us proceed, Dante. With Virgilius's words hanging heavy over us, we made our way into the back door connected to the HQ research facility. Okay, that's step one. Oh boy. Wonder what's next phase of the operation. Honestly, not surprised you dealt the most damage.
피를 마시는 순간에는 생각나지 않을 거다. 그러니 가릴 것 없이 마음껏 마셔. 그게
One moment, everyone. I'm just going to pour myself some more water. I'm just going to pour myself some more water. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I told you it was just a second. So, now we move on to the mutilated memory. So we through the door and now we're in a familiar situation, a familiar environment. Oh boy, things are looking a bit grim, don't you think?
LCE 부서입니다.
Arriving at the LCE department.
야, 이건
Boy, what in the... Oh, it does occur to me that this is actually kind of brilliant. because we popped in here during the routine checkup event, which allowed us to learn more about the people here, and thus allows them to essentially go right into the drama without having to introduce a lot of the characters on the Limbus company side. What in the sight that greeted us was nothing like what we remembered from our last visit for the regular checkup.
이미 상황이 끝났군.
We're too late.
본사 쪽에서 제압하는 중이거나 적어도 교전이 진행 중일 거라 예상했는데.
I thought HQ's reinforcements would hold the line, or at the very least that I'd walk into a battle. Yet, there was nobody left standing, much less making a run for it. All we could see were bodies slumped along the floor, filling the corridor in motionless silence.
이렇게까지 처참하게 당했을 줄은
This is just awful.
예상 못했는데.
I never thought the ship would go down this badly. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we're up against multiple high-level members of the Fingers, so honestly not too surprising there.
파우스트 씨, LCE의 전투 가능한 인원의 비율이 어떻게 되는지 아시나요?
Faust, have you got any idea how many of the LCE are actually combat ready?
직원들이 착용하고 있는 에고 장비 또한 전투에 활용할 수 있는 수준으로
The ego gears they wear are researched and extracted with combat purposes in mind.
LCE는 다른 연구 부서에 비해 전투 테스트 및 실험 빈도가 잦습니다. 그렇기에 직원 대다수가 기본적인 전투 훈련을 이수한 뒤 입사했습니다.
The LCE tends to encounter more combat tryouts and experiments as compared to the other research-focused departments. The vast majority of its employees are required to complete basic training pertaining to the aforementioned.
착용하고 있는 에고 장비 또한
As for the ego equipments,
성과를 거둘 수 있는 수준으로 연구와 추출이 진행되었지만
although the current research and extraction process may be sophisticated enough to see some considerable results in combat, they're also the ones we have encountered so far have been the suicide ones.
계획적인 급습을 원활히 대비할 수는 없었던 것으로 보이는군요.
It would seem that they were ill-equipped to handle a pre-planned ambush such as this.
실험실 속 샘님들이 거미들이 뛰어다니는 실전을 막아낼 수 있을 리가.
Fat chance those lab nerds could do anything in a real fight, let alone against the spiders out on the prowl. The memories came flooding back, researchers jotting down our checkup results on piles of paper, and Hohenheim, with his droopy, tired eyes, leafing through the files. We'd barely exchanged goodbyes when he rounded up the burned-out lab staff who were already pulling their hair out from the sheer level of stress to oversee another experiment in progress. Result, if you happen to notice anyone who looks like Hohenheim, let me know, ASAP.
신원을 파악할 수 없는 시체를 세고 확인했으나 신장이나 복장 등을 고려하였을 때 호헨하임일 가능성은
I have identified 3 bodies. One second. New Year's hitting here where I live, and looks like a lot of ships in the harbor are doing the thing where they honk their foghorns, which is fancy but a bit irritating. Anyway, there are 3 bodies in various states that make immediate recognition challenging. However, their stature and attire make it extremely unlikely that any of them are Hohenheim.
시신의 상태를 보니까 대부분 제대로 저항해보지도 못하고 당했구나.
From the looks of it, they probably didn't even get the chance to put up any meaningful resistance before they were killed. With a glum look in his eyes, Gregor examined the bodies strewn across the floor.
32구의 시체 중 26구의 시체가 동일한 외상을 보유하고 있습니다.
Out of 32 bodies, 26 show identical physical trauma. Identical? Yep. There's the fireworks going off.
공통적으로 흉부 중앙, 심장이 있는 위치에 나선형의 관통상이 있으며 흉기는 시체들의 손에 쥐어진 나선과 유사한 물체로 추정됩니다. 관리자님.
Every one of them has a spiral-shaped perforation at the center of the chest, over where the heart is. Their cause of death seems to be the same type of spiral weapon they are holding in their hands, manager.
이 나선
These spirals.
스스로 뽑아낸 것 같아요. 왜 이런?
I think they pulled them out themselves, but why would... Ryoshi recognizes it.
부드럽군.
Soft. Okay, so those looks like some type of screws or spiral daggers of some kind. I'm not quite sure myself, but yeah. Castor gazed down, quietly eyeing her palm. From the cryptic words and the contemplative look on her face, I could easily guess that she was taking a trip through the shadows of her past, touching an invisible object with her palm and feeling its texture in search of something that should have been there in her hands. Are you trying to remember something? Is it hard or is it easy? I've been through enough to know that we would be revisiting her past together. However... Huh? What? Something happening? What I witnessed was completely different from the memories of the other sinners I've seen so far. Is that Ryoshu? Are we looking through the eyes of the spider who taught her? The vision I saw was completely fragmented. Okay, so it definitely appears that Ryoshu's mind, in some manner, is her memories aren't quite there, which is an interesting thing. I've heard the idea that she is both the mother and the daughter from Hellscreen. So I'm wondering if that is more literal in some way, as in she's both the mother and the daughter because they fuse them together. Maybe. As if a blade had cut up her memories into pieces. Within Ryoshu's memories, something did indeed rest in her palm. However, I couldn't even make out whether its hue was closer to black or white. Was it some kind of food, a weapon, or something else? Even the expression that crossed her face when she saw it and the words that slipped from her lips in that moment escaped me. One thing I saw for sure, though, was that the person who, in all likelihood, had given it to her was letting out a lazy puff of smoke swirling into the air. As in, she was smoking like Ryoshu does. That is interesting. Watching Ryoshu's reaction is in complete ease. I gazed back upon the cryptic scene in Ryoshu's memories that flashed before my eyes. Ryoshu, is there anything you remember? Saru.
기억나는 건 이름뿐이군.
That name's all I can remember. You mean?
시계. 너도 들여다봤듯이 내 머리 안은 난도질탕이 있다.
As you've seen, Clock, my mind has been hacked to tatters.
순서도 모습도 제각각 엉켜 있지.
Sequence and the shape. Everything is in tangles.
그러니 나는 기억에 대해 설명할 수 있는 것이 없다.
There is nothing I can explain about my memory.
상황 파악은 어느 정도 된 것 같군. 이곳에서 일어날 수 있는 최악의 사태는
It seems we've gotten the gist of the situation. The worst case scenario here would be
외부의 침입과 함께 환상체나 뒤틀린 최종들이 동시다발적으로 탈출하는 상황이다.
a breach from outside happening while abnormalities, distortions, and hecatomb break containment all at once. That would be a very, very bad situation.
와, 그건 진짜
Whoa.
상상도 하기 싫은데.
Now that's the
수행자들을
situation.
상대하면서 탈출한 괴물들까지 같이 제압해야 하는 거잖아.
Now that's the situation I really don't even want to think about. We'd be fighting trespassers and all kinds of monsters broken loose.
그래. 그리고 우리는
Precisely.
지금 그 최악의 사태에 휘말렸지.
That sums up our present circumstances.
그렇구나.
Right. Otis wasted no time to deliver the conclusion that killed everyone's morale.
순서대로 나열하자면
Let's start from the beginning.
1차적으로 이곳 LC 부사가 정체불명의 세력의 기습을 받았다. 시각은 지금으로부터 약 2시간 전.
First, the LCE department found itself under attack by a group of unidentified hostiles 2 hours prior.
연구원들을 살해한 무기는 일정하지 않고 다양한 무기를 사용한 것으로 보이는군.
Weapons used to massacre the researchers are not uniform. The victims appear to have been killed with a various assortment of arms. My darling daughter. Eyes on me. When using straight weapons that leave the furthest reaching arcs. Eyes on me. When using weapons that kill with the tiniest incisions. Eyes on me. When using flexible weapons that crush anything they make contact with.
그놈답게 엉켜있군.
What a tangled mess, just like that bastard.
어떤 무기들이 쓰였는지 파악하기도 쉽지 않은 거군.
Hard to tell what kind of weapons were used here. Damn. Ryoshu whipped her hair back, furrowing her eyebrow in annoyance.
최소 3개 이상의 무기를 능숙하게 사용하는 자라고 봐야 되겠군.
Safe to say that the killer is adept with at least 3 different types of weapons.
다시 이어서 말하자면
Moving on.
침입자들의 기습은 예측할 새도 없이 순식간에 수행되었고
This was-
LC에서는 제대로 된 반격조차 이뤄지지 못했다. 학살에 가깝다고 볼 수 있지.
This was a surprise attack carried out without any delay whatsoever, and the LCE had no time to even plan a counterattack. It was, for lack of a better word, a massacre.
주목해야 하는 사실은 여기에 있다.
Now here's something that demands our attention.
이들이 환상체의 격리실 문을 개방한 것은 습격이 성공적으로 종료된 이후로 보인다.
It appears that the invaders had the abnormality containment units opened only after they confirmed that the surprise attack was complete. That's actually an interesting thing. Why afterwards?
이상하긴 하네요.
Yeah, that sure is fishy because what would be their reasoning? What would be their motivation? Like they have to be doing it for a reason. Why would they succeed in a surprise attack and only then essentially take out and release the abnormalities? If this was a proper surprise attack, the logic would be release the abnormalities at the same time to cause confusion.
보통은 그 반대로 하려고
I mean,
하죠.
shouldn't it be the other way around? Yeah.
먼저 격리실 문을 개방시켜서 상황을 혼잡스럽게 만들고 나면 그 혼란을 틈타 마무리를 하는 것이 더 수월할 테니까요.
Yeah, that's the binary course of action. And she's an arbiter. Unlock the containment units first, let the monsters wreak havoc through the facility, then swoop in during the chaos and finish off the stragglers. That'd be the easier course of action.
그래.
Indeed,
일반적으로 할 법한 전략은 아니지.
the enemy's strategy is highly unusual, unless they're setting it up as a test. This could be a case where they're trying to test Ryoshu for some reason.
이런 변칙적인 수를 둔 이유는 두 가지 정도의 추측을 해볼 수
As
있다.
for why they resorted to such an unusual method, there are two plausible explanations.
첫 번째로는 이들은 양동 작전 따위가 필요 없을 정도의 실력자라는 것.
First, that the enemy may be comprised of fighters skilled enough to forego a diversion tactic, which I think is highly likely.
트럭에서 카론 씨를 붙잡은
Mean there could be more
그 정도의 실력을 갖춘 이들이
who are as strong as the women in the truck who kidnapped Karen.
두 번째,
Secondly,
일종의 후속 대처를 위해 일부러 환상체를 탈출시켰을 가능성이다.
that the enemy may have purposely unleashed the abnormalities from the cages as a follow-up measure. It would be a way to sort of force us to... We'd have to fight our way through what they unleashed, so it does make sense.
후속 대처?
Follow-up measure?
그들이 습격했다는 사실을 숨기기 위해서라는 말인 겐가?
Art thou implying those villains sought to disguise their vile attack? No, that wouldn't make sense. They've been pretty blatant that they're the ones doing it.
아니, 위정책은 가능성이 낮다. 시체를 집어먹는 환상체가 있었다면 모를까. 이렇게 특징적인 상흔을 남겨놓고서 할 만한 기만 작전은 아니겠지.
No, the chance of a cover-up is almost non-existent. Unless they had precise knowledge of scavenger abnormalities that could devour the corpses clean, like, Mountain of Smiling Bodies, which I know we don't have, the enemy would never have left such identifiable wounds on their victims.
좀 더 타당한 건 우리와 같이 후속으로 진입할 본사의 지원군을 지연시키려는 목적이 있을 거다.
It makes more sense that their goal was to delay HQ's main reinforcements and keep them from reaching the scene on time as we did. I see. Basically, they have to fight the abnormalities to reclaim the ground.
시간을 끈다는 건 그렇군요.
A delay
뭘
tactic.
찾고 있나 보죠?
I see. Maybe they were looking for something.
그래.
Possibly.
분명한 표적을 갖고 침입했을 가능성이 높다.
They must have had a specific objective in mind when they broke through.
저들이 찾는 것이 이곳 어딘가에 있다는 거겠군요.
Which means that whatever they're looking for should be here somewhere. But what are they after? Because I don't think we keep the golden bowels here. I think we keep them in Dante.
찾는데 오랜 시간이 소요되는 것이어서 저희의 발을 묶어 놓아야 하는 걸 테고요.
Something elusive and so well hidden that they had to distract us just to buy themselves some time.
서둘러야겠어.
We need to hurry then. Okay. So I know we're only... Okay. No one... How far are... Let me check something. It's something I want to see. Not in drive. What rank does it say I need to get? Okay, yeah, no, I'm not getting that anytime soon. So I think that this might be a good point to call it for tonight. I think we made a good amount of progress, and I'm very happy to all of you who popped in. There, that's much better. That's much better. Still, that was it's very fascinating situation. So I think it might be a case where Ryoshu is both the daughter and the mother, but I'm not entirely sure. Still, regardless, I just want to say thanks to all of you for coming to my stream. It was very, very fun having you here, and even though we didn't get too far into the story, it is already picking up quite an interesting elements. They're really just mixing up the formula, I think. Still, thank you all for coming, and we'll pick up in maybe a couple days, maybe tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure I have to start making a proper stream schedule. But no, regardless. Thank you for coming, everyone. And until next time, bye bye.